Hey guys, and welcome back to my reaction videos. Where did we leave off? Ah, yes, that's right. Sylvie has just bombed the sacred timeline, and it looks like she's making a big mess of it. And here we thought it was going to be the Scarlet Witch who basically ruined reality, when in reality, it seems to be Sylvie who's the culprit. Which is actually a very funny turn of events, because like myself, everyone thought it was going to be Wanda. Wanda was going to be the one who caused the multiverse of madness. Maybe she might still be. But I think the way they're setting it up, it looks like Sylvie's the one who basically ruins the timeline, and essentially maybe in the multiverse of madness, Wanda is actually the one who maybe helps correct the whole timeline, seeing how she's a Nexus being. So maybe that's going to come into play later. We'll see. It's a lot of speculation. I'm guessing a lot right now because who knows really what's happening. So let's just go in and figure it out together.
It permeates the roof of your mouth and freezes the synapses in your brain. How many people are guarding the timekeepers?
Sorry, what?
So why won't you tell me how many people are guarding the timekeepers?
Oh, well, there's...
How do I find the elevators?
They're gold.
Okay, already I was such a big fan of that scene solely because when it comes to like superpowers, especially when you kind of look across like Marvel and even all the X-Men films, I feel they've just never really showcased telepathy very well. They just never really kind of taken it to kind of like a, not necessarily artistic level, but it conveyed it visually. She's literally going into her mind to try and find the information that she wants, but the way they conveyed it with that memory, they just kind of visually conveyed it to the audience. So it's so great to see, which gives me lots and lots of hope once they start coming to characters like Professor X and especially Jean Grey. That was, okay. We're going back.
I thought perhaps...
It's not... So you're just fully a magician then?
Fine. For my next... Is that one of your powers?
Where did you send us?
You're trying to enchant me. It won't work.
You're as beautiful as I
taught myself.
You taught yourself that magic?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you. Cheers.
That would be me.
How about you? You're a prince. Or perhaps another prince.
Bit of both. I suspect the same as you. But nothing ever...
They just confirmed that Loki's bisexual. And I'm here for it. She is right. Why isn't he wearing the uniform anymore? There clearly seems to be a shift of a dynamic going on right now. Like, even just the vibe, visually, like he's just now having a party, but now he's like singing this like slow song, and she just woke up, so something is amiss. Something is happening. Just smacked him.
Well, I did take quite the time. I'm a god.
You're a clown. You got drunk on the train.
I'm hedonistic.
Yeah, that's not how enchantment works.
All right, how does it work?
I have to make physical contact and then grab hold of their mind. Others, the stronger ones, it gets tricky. I'm in control. Young soldier from the TVA. Her mind was messed up. Everything. That's ridiculous. They're all variants, just like us.
They don't know that.
Wow. I mean, that entire ending sequence was incredible. They made it look like it was just one shot when in reality I'm sure it was multiple shots and they just stitched it together, but just visually it looked still like it was just one shot, and it was just so well done. And they were just like, ah! So I'm really intrigued by this because in my last video I mentioned that we never really saw Loki use telekinesis, but then going back and kind of doing back my research, I saw he actually did for a brief moment in Thor the Dark World when he found out that his mom was killed. You saw him kind of use his telekinesis and he basically like tossed the furniture in his prison. That was all that you saw of it, though. I think it's interesting that they're kind of bringing this power back to Loki solely because in this episode as well, he was kind of asking Sylvie, like, how does she do her enchantment magic? And she said that she taught herself, which is very intriguing because it's like, okay, if you already have mystical powers to some extent, maybe you can teach yourself how to do other things. So she essentially just told Loki how she does it. I'm just pulling from that, and maybe it's as if Loki can do telekinesis, but maybe it's not as necessarily as easy to do his other just illusion casting, which he seems to be more adept at. So essentially he's just trying to progress in a certain way in kind of making his telekinesis more usable. Which, I mean, he literally stopped a building from falling on top of them and tossed it back. So in terms of telekinesis, that looks like something very hard to do. So maybe he's getting better at telekinesis. Maybe after this season, Loki's gonna be more telekinetic and he's gonna be able to do enchantment. I also think it was very cool at one point when they were like fighting, like both Sylvie and Loki, when they were fighting like the gods and whatnot, you saw them do the same move where they trip the person and they just keep on fighting, and they just did it so in sync. So I thought that was just a very clever way because they're obviously each other just from different timelines. So I thought that was a very clever way to kind of make them kind of the same. Visually stunning, but also it makes sense. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen because of this episode, just the way it was set up. The episode started with Sylvie trying to crack the mind and trying to find out where the timekeepers are from the TVA agent. And then, you know, at one point in the episode, she falls asleep and then she wakes up and Loki's having this hell of a party on the train. And you're just wondering, it just seems very, very odd. You know, it's kind of as if he's enchanting her. So there's this whole vibe that maybe Sylvie is trapped in a gigantic illusion by Loki. So when she fell asleep, she left herself kind of like open for it. How much is actually happening? How much is Loki making this whole illusion? Just to glean information from her about the timekeepers, about how to enchant people. Maybe none of it is real and Loki is playing with Sylvie's mind. So I'm really interested to see. I just want to know now. And I think they are keeping with the fact that Sylvie is essentially a Lady Loki. So I think they just were cleverly kind of playing off with the comic book storylines and just the comic book backgrounds of multiple characters. And they're like, okay, well, let's just give her the name Sylvie to kind of like play off the whole other enchantress in the comic books. But I do think she is a Lady Loki. And to stop confusion from, you know, having a Loki and then a Lady Loki and then each calling each other Loki. That's just going to be confusing. So yeah, I mean, I do feel like this episode was very, very good. The middle part, it didn't lag, but there was a lot of like kind of having to set up the larger narrative and kind of set up maybe more of a payoff of, haha, none of it was happening. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think that was actually happening? Do you think Loki cast a whole illusion for Sylvie? Do you think Sylvie's casting an illusion for Loki? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'm at DriftingDCal. Shoot me a message. I want to hear your theories. I want to know where you think this show is going to go. And did Sylvie cause the multiverse of madness? Did she? Did she? Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.